Welcome to the Three Ranger Bros audio library.
The home to audio dramas created by the Three Ranger Bros themselves.
Here they have built stories as a team, coming together with their storytelling ability and creating new tales and adventures for you guys to listen to.
These stories have been worked on by the Three Bros, and here we have a channel dedicated to them.
All the stories in this channel have been worked on by all three bros. Each story is crafted.
Then they make their own unique original characters, which they will do the voices of.
They explore many different fandoms and give unique takes and ideas within their favorite fictional worlds.
And best of all, they have created this channel to invite you, the listener, to join them in these fantastic tales. So strap in and dive into the Three Ranger Bros audio library.
Power Rangers Global. Chapter 9. The Center of the Underworld. Part 1. Loki stormed into the Cloud Kingdom and found his way into the prison. There, he kept the gods, deities, and mythical creatures that had significant marks in his plans. He walked up to a cell and unlocked it. "Get out," Loki ordered. Then Hephaestus stepped out.
I can only imagine if I am walking out of this cell alive, then you must have it.
Hephaestus muttered. "Yes, I do. Now take me to your forge. You have a key to make," Loki said with a sneer. He waved his hand, and the god's hands were bound in chains that gave off a green and black energy. Then both of them left the land in the clouds and headed for the forge. The team were all buried in books, trying to find any information about the key to the Underworld, and trying to figure out why exactly would Loki want to go to the Underworld in the first place.
Oh my god, this is so annoying. There has to be something here.
Himiko blurted.
I get it's frustrating, guys. I really do. But we need to know why and how.
Mark sighed.
Doesn't help Elias. He's been reading the wrong book for the last 10 minutes.
Eric moaned.
You're about to eat your words,
Elias said with a cocky grin. Then he placed down the book that he was reading on the table for everyone to see the open page.
Himiko said the key had to be made in an intense amount of heat. How about a forge used by a god?
Elias said, giving Eric a smirk. Hey, that would work. Between the heat off of one of those things and the immense power behind a blacksmithing god, that would surely make up the key, Lip stated. Seems like we have narrowed it down to blacksmiths. Now we must ask the question, which one? Brohan asked.
He would be dumb enough to come to Egypt. He knows the Rangers vacate to Egypt a lot.
Eric said, throwing up air quotations.
There is one that comes to mind. Might be a long stretch. The Greek god of blacksmithing? His forge is still in Greece. You can walk through it. It's a part of the tourist attractions. All you would need is for Hephaestus to channel his power into it, and boom, it's active.
Himiko stated.
It's a solid lead. Well done.
Mark said to Himiko.
So we go to Greece, we fight Loki, and get Hephaestus out of there.
Eric said. Hey, sounds like a plan to me. Lip nodded.
What if we don't beat Loki?
Elias asked with a sense of dread.
We can't think like that. We have to go for this head on and do what we all came here to do. Today, we bring Loki in. Or destroy him.
Mark ordered. Everyone nodded. Then they prepared to teleport to Greece.
Hey, Kirito! Did you hear about that new podcast?
What new podcast, Asu?
It's called the Tiger Nexus Podcast, run by Tai Tiger.
Hold on. I know that name. He's the guy behind Tiger Tales on YouTube, right?
Yep, that's right. And now he's launched his own podcast where he interviews content creators and nerds of all kinds.
No way, that sounds so cool. What's the name of the podcast again?
The Tiger Nexus Podcast. You can find it on all major podcast platforms.
Hold up. He's had Cosplay Dude 637 on there? That's amazing!
I know, right? He's also interviewed A-Crown, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, and many others.
I am totally subscribing to the Tiger Nexus podcast. I don't want to miss anything.
Tune in to the Tiger Nexus podcast by Tai Tiger for fascinating interviews with your favorite content creators and nerds. Find it wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out.
Hephaestus sat in his old forge. It had been a very long time since he was able to craft something. He felt a wave of guilt as he knew that the key that he was about to make would cause a set of catastrophic events. He stood and poured the melting stone into a key mold. Then, as it cooled, he struck it with his hammer. The whole forge vibrated with each stroke. Then suddenly, the 5 rangers ran in. Loki spun around and faced them. "Rangers!" Loki barked.
Your reign is over, trickster.
The Red Cornish Ranger called back. "We shall see about that." Loki grinned. The Pink Japanese Ranger threw several pink shuriken at Loki. Loki held out his hands up and an energy shield wrapped over him that deflected each one of the shurikens. The Blue Viking Ranger swung his sword and sent a slicing wave of water at Loki. As the Ranger of Ra flew up and dived at Loki, Loki caught the Ranger of Ra and swung him around and threw him into the wave of water, using the Ranger of Ra to deflect it. The Ranger of Ra hit the ground. Then Loki summoned a sword and blocked an incoming strike from the Red Cornish Ranger, wielding the power sword. Then he kicked the Ranger back. He then aimed his sword and sent a surge of lightning, which hit the Red Cornish Ranger, pinning him to the ground. The Gold Celtic Ranger thrust out his javelin. Loki caught it and kicked the Gold Celtic Ranger several times before delivering a final kick which sent him flying back. The Pink Japanese Ranger threw several more shurikens, but Loki blocked each one of them. Then he caught the last one, charged it with energy and threw it back. It flew straight at the Pink Japanese Ranger and exploded on impact, throwing her off her feet. Loki stood before the defeated Rangers with an evil smirk on his face. Hephaestus walked up to Loki and handed him the key.
Now leave the Rangers alone, trickster.
Hephaestus demanded. "You do not make orders," Loki retorted, snatching the key from the god's hand.
Loki, stop!
The Red Cornish Ranger barked out. Loki placed his hands on Hephaestus' face, and his eyes glowed green. "The Rangers are your enemies. Kill them all," Loki ordered. Then Loki opened a portal, and with the key in hand, he walked through it. Hephaestus turned to the Rangers, and a smithing hammer appeared in his hands once again.
We have to snap him out of it.
The Blue Viking Ranger muttered. "Yeah, how?" the Ranger of Ra snapped.
Guys, I know the stakes are high, and Loki just escaped. But, right now, a god is in need of our help. One thing at a time, okay?
The Red Cornish Ranger barked. The Rangers nodded at their leader and all grouped up. They faced off with Hephaestus. The Gold Celtic Ranger ran at Hephaestus and threw several jabs, striking the god several times. But he swung his smithing hammer, hitting the Ranger in the chest. Then the Blue Viking Ranger swung his sword out and formed a whip of water around the blade. He wrapped around the god's hand and crushed his wrist, making him drop the hammer. The Pink Japanese Ranger disappeared in a puff of pink smoke, then appeared behind the god and struck him with her blade. The Red Cornish Ranger ran into the fold and swung Saba and the dragon dagger, slicing the god several times. The Ranger of Ra flew in and kicked the god down. The Pink Japanese Ranger summoned some flower petals, and the Blue Viking Ranger engulfed the petals in a ball of water, mixing both the powers into one. Then they dropped the ball of water on the god's face. Hephaestus started choking. As he sat up, the green energy in his eyes faded away, as the combination of water magic and petal magic washed away Loki's enchantment.
Thank you, Rangers.
Hephaestus sighed. The Rangers pulled the god to his feet.
How do you feel?
The Pink Japanese Ranger asked.
Physically, I am fine. Little woozy, but I will live. But mostly, I feel guilty. I am sorry, Rangers. I was forced to create the key to the Underworld. I failed my pantheon, my people, and I failed you.
Hephaestus said, with his head hung low.
You don't fool anyone, man.
The gold Celtic Ranger responded.
You did what you had to do to survive.
The blue Viking Ranger said. Anyone would do the same thing, Ranger of Ra said confidently.
At least you are safe now.
The pink Japanese Ranger said. Everyone finally demorphed.
Did Loki say anything that could help us stop him?
Mark asked.
I don't know if it will help, but he wants to go to the center of the Underworld, and he is after specific souls.
Hephaestus stated. Yeah, we better get going, Lip said.
You sit tight. We will come check on you after, okay?
Himiko told the god. Then the team left the forge, leaving Hephaestus to sit there and feel sorry for himself. The team ran off and left the city, and headed back to the Library of Ancient History that was located in Greece. They stopped by an off-road walking trail, and Mark walked off and walked up to the edge, looking down at the ocean crashing against the rocks down below.
Why are we stopping?
Himiko asked.
I just need a moment. I'm angry. Just goddamn annoyed. We let him slip through our fingers.
Mark growled.
We get you're pissed, man. We all are.
Eric stated.
No, we should have done better. All of us.
Mark roared.
Okay, now that's unfair, man.
Elias snapped back.
No, why do I have to hold my tongue?
Mark barked. Suddenly, the sword of darkness formed in Mark's hand.
Easy, man. You need to chill out.
Eric called out. Mark took a few steps backwards, taking steps closer to the edge. He raised his sword and the energy rippled off of it. The energy ripped through the ground, cutting the rocks that Mark was stood on. One broke and fell off the edge of the cliff. Mark fell and hit the rocks down below. His body was washed over by the ocean. Eric and Elias leaned over the edge and saw his body laying there. Eric and Elias turned to face Lip and Himiko. Shock rippled over their face. Tears began to stream over Himiko's cheeks, and Lip looked up into the sky, scanning the clouds. Then he pressed his communicator. Brohan? It worked, Lip said. Good. Hurry back quickly, Brohan ordered. Everyone looked at Lip, with their mouths wide open. Okay, I have some explaining to do. I know, we just have to hurry back to the base so I can explain. Lip shrugged.
My name is Rusfa, also known as the Banker. My name is feared by many universes. And now, I'm currently working on destroying Universe 19. No Ultra Rangers, Power Rangers Cyberforce, Skyforce, even those Kamen Riders, and those pesky Beetle Troopers. Nothing can get in my way. If you want to hear me destroying Power Rangers Universe 19, well, you can listen on the podcast and watch my evil excellence destroy those dumb enough to face me on the Power Rangers Universe 19 podcast. Come listen if you dare.
Lip and Brohan stood before Eric, Himiko, and Elias, who all stood there with their mouths dropped wide open. Okay, look. When researching stuff, I found something out. When you go to the Underworld, you can pick and choose which god you want to forever be damned by, but you gotta give a good enough sacrifice first. Most of the time, you can give your human body, so they can torture it and stuff, especially if it's unique or the person is rather important. Mark died so Anubis can go and welcome him into his section of the Underworld, using his body as a sacrifice. Then, when his body leaves the mortal plane, we just make sure that we're all holding on tight. And Mark then can claim his body, Lip said with a grin.
So he is actually dead?
Himiko asked sadly. Lip nodded in confirmation.
Why were we in the dark about this?
Elias asked. It was a backup plan. We didn't know who Loki was going to bring down and who was going to use the forge. The plan was literally made a couple hours ago, Lip replied.
And what if this goes south?
Eric questioned with a tone in his voice. We must trust in Mark. He knew what he was up against, Brohan interrupted.
So are we going to the Underworld?
Elias asked awkwardly. Any minute now, Lip said with a slight grin. Eric, there is some items we will need. I left them in the box in the alley behind the building, so no one got suspicious. Can you fetch them for me? Himiko, there is a book on my desk I will need, and Elias has a bag with some supplies for you to take with you, Brohan requested. Elias walked away and fetched the bag of supplies, whilst Himiko went to his desk and found the book titled Inch by Inch of the Underworld, and Eric went outside to the alleyway behind the building and looked around and found a rather large box. He went to pick it up when suddenly he turned around and saw a guy stood there before him.
Hello, Eric,
the man said.
How do you know my name?
Eric asked.
I know all of your names. I have been keeping an eye on you, watching from a distance,
the stranger said.
Why are you watching us?
Eric snapped, ready to drop the box and to get defensive.
I know you were Power Rangers. I have met with the rest of your team over the last few days. I wanted to help, thought I could inch my way in, but now I know what's happening, and you need my help,
the man said sternly.
How can we trust you?
Eric asked.
You are just going to have to trust me, aren't you?
The man replied.
And how do you think you can help us?
Eric snapped.
When you are stuck, and you and your team have no way home, just call for me, and I will get you out from the Underworld,
the man offered.
I would need to know your name first,
Eric replied.
My name is Heimdall,
the man told him.
Alright, Heimdall. If I need you, I will call.
Eric sighed.
Make sure you do.
Heimdall nodded, then he walked away. Eric shrugged to himself, then carried the box back indoors.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros studio.
Hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tai Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channel, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.